Are we coming back? Joe Biden in the crowd taking naps. And it's not Hunter doing crack. Only what you want.
Now joining us, Dr. Ben Carson.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
You're too kind. You know, on January the 10th, 1963, read into the congressional record of our country, Congressman Herlong, the 45 goals of communism in America. And they were such things as gaining control of the public school system and the teacher union so you could indoctrinate the kids, gaining control of the news media and Hollywood so that you could change the culture of America, depressing the value of the family, removing God from the public sector, changing the churches so that instead of the real gospel, you had the social gospel, making sexual perversion normal, natural, and healthy. All of these things are going on in our society today. There have always been those who have wanted to change who we are. But I gotta tell you, even though they say awful things about our country, they say we're systemically racist, we treat people inappropriately. If we were all that bad, why are all these people trying to get in here? And those who want to change our country, particularly the leftists, the Marxists, they're so close right now. You know, Benjamin Franklin, when he came out of the Constitution Hall in 1787, he was asked, "Sir, what do we have here? A monarchy or a republic?" He said, "A republic, if you can keep it." We've kept it for 248 years. We're very close to losing it right now, except our founders were very smart. They studied every civilization that ever existed, and they realized that people just don't have the ability to leave other people alone, and that governments are the same way, and that they grow, they infiltrate, and they dominate. They gave us a fail-safe. The fail-safe is we the people. That is what makes the difference. And what they put in our hands was the ability to vote, and to vote in an appropriate way. Not the way that a lot of people vote. They just look for the name that looks familiar. I mean, it could be Satan. They say, "I know that one." In many cases it is. So obviously that's not the way to do it. But the reason that they're so desperate right now is because they're so close to pushing us over the edge. But that's also the reason that they are so afraid of Donald Trump. Because he knows who they are. He knows what they do. And they're desperate to get rid of him. One of the ways that they're able to get their way is by intimidating people and making people fearful. It sort of started with political correctness, and then it's morphed into wokeness, and now it's gotten to the place where you have cancel culture, and there are a lot of people who are afraid, so they think the right way, but they won't say anything because they don't want to be called a nasty name, they don't want to be canceled, they don't want their families to suffer any damage. But I have to tell you this truth. You cannot be the land of the free if you're not the home of the brave. Got to stand up for what you believe. That is so important. But after Trump wins on November the 5th, we have to remember that that's just the beginning of the fight. Because, see, they're going to do everything they can to try to make it unsuccessful. But we're not going to allow that to happen. We are not enemies. We, the American people, are not each other's enemies, but they want us to think we are. And they drive wedges between us on the basis of race, age, income, religion, political affiliation, gender, you name it, they drive wedges. But we have to be smart enough to recognize that the one world government people realize that we are the one that's in the way. They can't overcome us militarily, so they're going to try to destroy us from within by attacking our families and our faith. But we know who they are and what they're doing, and we're not going to let it happen. And I got to say something about our country. My wife and I have visited 68 countries. We have lived overseas, and there is no place like America. We have the best country that there is. And we have to do what we can to make sure that we keep it. You know, it doesn't matter where your ancestors came from. England, Jamaica, Ireland, I heard somebody say, Africa. It doesn't matter where they came from. You're better off here than you would be there. And that's the thing about America. It belongs to all of us. And one of the reasons that we have done so well is because we had a relationship with God. Our very first document, the Declaration of Independence, said that our rights come from our Creator, not from the government. And the government can't take those rights away from us. Only God can. And think about what He has done. You know the story of the bulletproof George Washington. They tried to kill George Washington in the Battle of Monongahela. They did not succeed. 59 miles away from there is Butler, Pennsylvania. They tried to get rid of Donald Trump, and they did not succeed either. Because, as I've told him for the last 10 years, God put him here for a purpose. And that's why they will not succeed. All the things that they have tried have not worked, and they will not work. And the way that we can make sure that they will not work is to make sure that we humble ourselves and pray and seek God and repent and move in the right direction once again in America. And let me just close with a little story about how God works. You know, some years ago, I was summoned to South Africa to try to help separate some conjoined twins who were deteriorating rapidly. And we were going to use the same technique that we used on the German twins before that. But when we got into the operation and opened the chest and revealed the heart of one of the twins, it wasn't working. And the reason they were deteriorating is because as they grew, the one had to do all the work. So one did not have any cardiac function. We got them separated. The other one was doing okay, so we were pleased with that. But after a couple of days, that one died. because it didn't have any kidney function. One had the heart function, one had the kidney function. I was so bummed out. As I was going back home, I was saying, Lord, why did you get me involved in this? Anybody could fail. You don't need me to fail. I was feeling sorry for myself. But a couple of years later, there was another set joined at the top of the head, facing in opposite direction, something we call type 2 vertical craniopicus.
Oh my goodness.
They had never been separated before successfully. But because we had put the team together and had all the equipment together for the one that did fail, that one was completely successful, and now they are adults who are perfectly normal. And I say that to say this. A lot of people feel that what happened to Trump in 2020 was wrong. However, it prepared the way for a magnificent success right now. Make America great again, greater than it's ever been. Thank you.